What's going on, guys? It is Royalty Crypto here, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about ONDO Finance, which was actually suggested by one of my subscribers, so shout out to them. And guys, if you want me to review any tokens, please let me know in the comment section. I would be happy to do so. Also, this is a brand new channel, so I would greatly appreciate it if you guys could like and subscribe. And please drop some comments in the comment section letting me know how I'm doing. Alright guys, without further ado, let's get right on into this video. So when it comes to ONDO Finance, there's a couple aspects of it that I absolutely love, and then there's a couple that I don't like very much. What I love about ONDO is just the narrative behind the project. So as you can see here, ONDO Finance is a decentralized platform that connects traditional finance with blockchain by creating tokenized assets. So I do think that the tokenization play is going to be huge in the coming years. I mean, we've already had Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, talk about basically how he thinks that everything is going to be tokenized in the coming years. And you know that Larry Fink knows a lot more than we know. I mean, he's an insider. He is basically the king of all insiders. So I don't like to fade him personally. And as you can see here, ONDO actually has backing from institutions like BlackRock and Coinbase. So, you know, if Larry Fink is supporting this project, I would say that that's a very positive catalyst. And also, Coinbase, when ONDO was first released, Coinbase actually listed them on their exchange like within, I think, 5 minutes or something. It was pretty much instant because I actually bought ONDO when it first released. So yeah, that really does go to show that Coinbase supports this project, which is a very positive thing. All right, I do want to talk about a couple aspects of this project that I don't love. And I know a lot of channels don't like to, say anything negative about any of these projects, but I like to keep it real on my channel personally, and I hope that you guys can appreciate that. So what I really do not like about ONDO, and the reason why I actually do not hold this project anymore, is the tokenomics that this coin has. So as you can see here, it has a $2.38 billion market cap, which does make it the 42nd most valuable coin in the space. However, the fully diluted market cap is 7.5 billion. So you will be seeing quite a bit of inflation with this coin over the next couple of years. And also, if we scroll down to how the tokenomics actually work, it's basically like a stair step up, which I don't love. So like as you can see here, we add over 1 billion tokens on January, it looks like January 13th of next year. So that is what I think is probably the biggest problem with this coin. However, if you're more looking to trade this and hold this just for like this current crypto bull run, you probably will only have to deal with like one token unlock here. So it's not that big of a deal, but personally guys, like this is definitely something to keep your eyes on because those are some massive token unlocks which could cause, a pretty substantial drop on the token price if some of the insiders, start to sell their coins that were unlocked. But also another thing that I don't necessarily love about this project is it has a relatively small 24-hour trading volume. It's not terrible, and I wouldn't say that this would deter me necessarily from investing in this coin. However, when only 78 million on a $2.38 billion market cap is not fantastic. But, if this coin does get hot in the altcoin run and like this narrative really starts to heat up, I'm sure the volume will pick up as well. So I'm not too worried about that. Overall, I do think that ONDO is going to have a pretty solid run in this bull run that's coming up in the next couple of weeks to months, even really. I would say that I think the highest that I could really see ONDO getting to is a $50 billion market cap with these current tokenomics. But however, as I mentioned, there is going to be a pretty massive unlock here in January. So that probably will be like right in the middle of this bull run. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that like my top end target for this cycle for ONDO is going to be like about $8, a $50 billion market cap. So definitely has quite a bit of potential. And as I always mention in any of these videos, I will be letting you guys know when I personally start to take profits on these coins because I never hold to try to like, time the top perfectly. I think that's a terrible idea and I do not suggest it. So what do I think it's a good time to buy altcoins like ONDO? I do actually think it's a great time to be buying. So as you can see here, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index shows that we are at a 36 out of 100. So we are still into fear, However, I expect that this week we will actually go from fear to neutral. We have some very, very breaking news that happened this morning that I will talk about here in a second. And we have so many positive macro catalysts coming in the next week. I think that this next week could really be what ends up turning October into actually a very bullish month. I know that October has been very, very emotional, and you have to kind of expect that with October. I mean, this is kind of what happened last year to an extent as well. But yeah, I mean, I think this next week could actually, give us some very solid gains for the month of October, even though we had so much volatility. So let's talk about this breaking news, guys. So this morning, it was announced that China and the US have reached a trade agreement after successful trade talks. This is incredibly bullish, guys. And I'm sure as more news comes out about this and when the stock market futures open, this is going to pump markets. I mean, this is the clarity that we've been looking for basically since the tariffs were first announced back in February or March or whenever it was. And as you can see here, this was actually confirmed by Grok. So as you can see, yes, the reports from Reuters, Bloomberg, and others confirm that the US and China have reached a preliminary framework deal. So there's going to be much more news to come on this, I'm sure. But nonetheless, guys, this is incredibly bullish. This is so fantastic. I mean, what awesome news to wake up to on a Sunday morning, right? All right, and then the next thing that I want to talk about is just the other crazy macro stuff that's coming up this week, and actually in 3 days, which is a Wednesday afternoon. As you can see here, guys, we have a 98.3% chance, so it's basically a locked-in guarantee at this point, that we will be seeing a 25 basis point rate cut. This will be fantastic for crypto, although I do believe that this is probably priced in. Although crypto doesn't seem like it's very good at pricing things in sometimes. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. However, there is something else that isn't priced in, I believe, and that is the fact that there is multiple analysts coming out saying that they think that the Fed is going to announce an official end of QT and start of QE. Basically, if you guys don't know what that means, QT is when the Federal Reserve is actually selling assets, which is obviously a negative thing because it drops the prices of assets for the most part, like the stuff that they hold. However, if they flip to QE, that actually means the Fed is going to start buying assets back. And when the Fed buys assets back, it actually, over time, creates a wealth effect in markets because, when they buy assets, it causes the price to go up. And then people start to feel rich. And then that's when people start to, FOMO into these altcoins that we know and love. So, yeah, fingers crossed that this actually gets announced. That would be fantastic. And also, guys, I did want to talk about Bitcoin for a brief moment because, as we all know, altcoins basically follow what Bitcoin does. And I had mentioned this in my video yesterday. I thought that we would start to retest the $114,000 level possibly as soon as today. And that's exactly what's happening. And I think that there is a very good chance that this week could actually cause a massive short squeeze on Bitcoin. As you can see, we have so many short traders up above this $114,000 range that will be liquidated if the price passes that. And if we can get some momentum driven by this China trade deal and also, the rate cuts and QE, we could see a short squeeze on Bitcoin that could bring us from $114,000 to $118,000 in basically no time. There is a chance that this could happen tonight or later today when the stock market futures open, or we might have to wait until Monday, or we might just have to wait until we get more trade deal information. But I do think that there's a very good chance that Bitcoin will be sitting at $118,000 within the next couple of days or higher. So we'll have to see. As you can see here, it's still very overweight leverage shorts compared to leverage longs. We don't even have $1 billion in leverage longs at the moment on the 2-week. However, we still have $3 billion in shorts. So in my opinion, whenever you see something like that, just know that the exchanges and whales will most likely target these short traders. All right, so we kind of already talked about Bitcoin, but as you can see here, it's having quite a fantastic day, sitting at $113,600, still maintaining this uptrend. However, it does kind of seem like we're starting to, create even a more steep uptrend here. So we'll just have to see what happens in the coming days, guys, but I am feeling like this is a very bullish time in the markets. And also, Ethereum is back above 4,000. So I talked about how it's been trading in this channel for the past couple of weeks. And actually, in my video yesterday, I said there was a good chance that it was going to actually break out of this channel. And that is what we are doing right now. So I do believe Ethereum has potential to really have a very bullish week this week. We'll just have to see what happens, with Bitcoin mainly, because Ethereum, for the most part, follows Bitcoin. But yeah, I mean, I think that Ethereum's in a fantastic spot, and I really do hope that, maybe next month we could see a new all-time high for the first time in so long on Ethereum. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I'm going to go watch some football and enjoy my Sunday. I hope you guys have a great Sunday as well, and I will see you on Monday. Peace.